What's up, guys? We're back, as Kevin Trudeau would say. Now, if you listen to Your Wish is Your Command, you know what I'm talking about. It's definitely a powerful lecture. It goes over the law of attraction, the original law of attraction in detail. One of the main premises of that book is, to feel good now and to continue to feel better, and in turn, attract, more positive things into your life. Um, Before I jump into the topic of discussion for today, I'm gonna show you this tea. This tea works wonders, man. I tell you, detox tea. I got this at the Whole Food store, and it does exactly what it says it does. Okay, it's gonna cleanse your body of the toxins that you take in on a daily basis. Toxins you take in from drinking shit water, eating shitty food, and breathing. There's all kinds of toxins in the air today, so I mean, it's always good to cleanse yourself. And this has a ripple effect, as far as your level of consciousness goes, because not only does this cleanse your body, but it cleanses your mind. It gets rid of toxic thoughts, and definitely helps you raise your vibration to a plane that you want it to be on. Okay. And when you make this tea, if you decide to get it, make sure you make it with distilled water. I got a gallon of distilled water right here. This is my second one for today. And you should actually drink distilled water on a regular basis. It's the best water for you because it doesn't put the stress on your body on processing all the excess bullshit. And this is water in its purest state. And you're taking in pure light codes. This water is going to make you shit, and it's going to make you piss, and it's going to naturally cleanse your body. So like when I wake up, most days I'll actually fast for 8 hours when I wake up, and I drink distilled water. Okay. Yeah, so it's definitely good for you. Before I move any further, I also want to give a shout out to KJ, Taylor, Noel, Micah, and my brother Tim. You guys have have been here from the get-go, and every time that I speak with you, I haven't spoken with you yet, Noel, but every time I speak with everyone else, you guys always have something really insightful to say, and it's always a learning experience when I interact with you guys, and I just want to say thank you. Yeah, but especially my brother Tim. This past week, you guys haven't heard anything from me. No phone calls, very few texts. That's because, my brother Tim put me up on some good knowledge that I've spent this week, taking in and, embodying. And yeah, it's definitely a good experience. So I thank him. And like I said in the previous video, I'm not gonna sit before you guys and just tell you some shit because it sounds good. I'm gonna go off of my experience, as you should too. Don't take anything that I say as the end all be all, because what I'm saying is only coming from my perception of consciousness. So you have to experience things on your own before you can truly find their meaning. And I just want to say that before I move on. So the topic of this lecture or discussion is the lips of wisdom are sealed except to the ears of understanding. And for those of you that read the Bible still, I'm gonna read a verse to you real quick. Matthew 13, verses 10 through 13. The disciples came to him and asked, "Why do you speak to the people in parables?" He replied, "Because the knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them. Whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. This is why I speak to them in parables." So this goes to show that, not only is the Bible, encoded, it's not just face value. There's many different levels to the Bible, but Even Christ practiced this principle of Tahuti, which is the lips of wisdom are sealed except for the ears of understanding. Not everybody's meant to know what you know. Not everybody's ready, to hear and take in what you have to say, because a lot of what you have to say or share might shatter someone's reality. Okay, and not only that, but as I'll share with you, there's there's an opposite end of the spectrum to the knowledge that we know. There's people that are out there trying to share knowledge for the flowering and overall enlightenment of humanity, trying to better, us as a collective. And then there's people that don't want you to know this knowledge because they want to keep you ignorant and they want to keep your consciousness in a box as they've been doing. Okay? So, and those people that are doing that, high members of, our society, our societal structure, they know. They know very well and understand, ancient principles. They practice, alchemy and, sacred geometry. You got motherfuckers right now with the CERN machine, crashing atoms together to open up portals into other dimensions. Okay, you got, people making free energy systems through the principles of vibration and electromagnetics. Okay, so this knowledge is known by some people in very, very high positions in our society. And by you knowing what you know, you're a threat to them. Because at that point, you're someone who can come out and say, what you're teaching or what you're practicing isn't quite right, in the sense that it doesn't embody the the benefit of humanity. you know and see, the thing about energy is that it doesn't care. you know if you use energy for something, then it's gonna do what it's meant to do. It doesn't have any sense of morality. Morality is just an illusion, as I mentioned in my previous video. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't just share things with people. Okay, people fear what they don't understand. People are always going to ridicule and subjugate things that they don't understand. So if you're walking around, and you're just, sharing shit with people left and right, then some of those people might end up, coming back to get you, because what you said went over their head. And especially if you have a scientific or left brain approach to prove what you're talking about and quantifying what you're talking about, that definitely makes you dangerous. Okay, and I'm not saying that in a sense that you would hurt someone with the knowledge that that we share amongst each other. But the thing is that people in the past have, and they continue to do that, and those are the same people that want to keep you from that, because they want to stop you from replacing their malevolence with your benevolence. Okay, now along my journey, I've been in the Navy for 3 years, and my first duty station was in Hawaii. Now, this was a point in time where I entered into one of the most significant states of enlightenment that I've ever been in. Okay, and this is due to my hunger for information, and always trying to grow. And I want to attribute it to the feminine energy of the island. Really, really good, receptive vibe there. If you ever go to Hawaii, beautiful place to go. Okay, now when I entered into this state, my first response to the information that I've learned that it changed my life at that point in time was to share it with people. Why? Not out of ego, not out of anything, but to help someone, if you will, better themselves. I was always a firm believer of, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. So I just wanted to have the chance to offer someone, a different way of looking at things, and whether they embodied it or not, was solely up to them. But over time, as this started to happen and people started to see the fruit of, my knowledge, I became uh, a threat to the people that were over me, that were above me. One, because I was outperforming them, and two, because I was getting outside of the box which they originally meant for me to be in. Okay, and this led to a long drawn out path in which I was I lost everything essentially. My girlfriend at the time left me. Uh, I lost everything material in my life, which also ended up showing me that none of this shit matters. You put your heart and soul into all of this materialistic shit, and in the blink of an eye, it's gone, and a piece of you goes with it. So, you know, I lost everything because I did not adhere to these principles. Okay. Um, and I'm just recently recovering from the effect of not adhering to this. You know, from losing a vehicle. I had a car that was vandalized and totaled because people they tried to devour me because of what I knew, and they knew and understood what I knew. So it's not even always that people don't understand. It's the question is who is it that understands, you know so you gotta be careful with that. And you always know who the right people are to talk to, because you know everyone who's listening to this video is awakened in some kind of way. So you can walk up to a person, you can feel their vibration, you can see and essentially sense what they're about. Okay, and you can tell if someone's not on that same vibrational plane, or striving to be on that same vibrational plane as you. You can tell if someone's not embodying the same kind of energy as you from their core. Okay, so that in and of itself is all you need to decipher that. Okay, um but don't just go walking around sprouting shit off, because like I said, there's people out there that are out to get you. And I hate to say it like that, and it may sound paranoid, but it's the truth. you know um there's people that put out fantastic lectures, fantastic knowledge out on YouTube, and they've been targeted in the past by you know by people, death threats, because of the knowledge that they share and the impact that they have on the world around them. Okay, and you just got to consider that some people are meant not to know because they don't want to know, and you can't infringe upon that. Okay, now the best way to share knowledge is always at a little bit at a time. When I first met, not when I first started getting really close to Taylor about a year and a half ago, during my state of awakening, if you will. I didn't just fucking drop my head on his. you know I didn't balance his chakras for him. I didn't live in the moment for him. I didn't do any of this shit for him. I didn't, you know, I couldn't be the peace that passes all understanding for him. He had to find all this for himself. And the way we did it was just through simple seeds. You see someone and you think they're striving to be more conscious. Drop a seed, just a one sentence thing, with depth. And if they want to come to you for more information, then they'll come to you for more information and knowledge. But how dare you feel that you're in a position where you can teach someone? Because by the fact that you're saying that someone needs help, you're already putting yourself and your ego in a position above that person. Okay, so you really got to think about the core of why you would share wisdom with people and who you share it with. Um, and depending on this, is going to determine the outcome of what you shared. Okay. What else do I have to say? Um, Also, in my last video, I said that I was gonna get on. I was gonna get on the this the medical field. Okay. The shit that people give you in pill bottles, these doctors give you in pill bottles, is the wrong approach for medicine. And the reason I say that is because it does not work with your body. All the drugs that they give you are experimental in nature, and they do not target a specific thing. And depending on the chemical makeup of your blood and your physical body, you're gonna have a completely different effect than what they say. Okay. And a lot of these drugs actually calcify your pineal gland. Okay. And that's due to the heavy minerals that are in a lot of these drugs, and psychotropic drugs in particular. Okay. And the reason why you shouldn't take this shit is because it doesn't do what you think it's doing. It actually drains the source of life from your body that you're trying to heal. Okay. Now, when someone gets a cold per se, right? You see them, they're fucking sick. They're, got a runny nose, stuffy nose, coughing. What is actually happening is, by the time you start seeing those symptoms, your body is already recovered. That's your body spitting out all the bullshit that, that is in you, that is, that is not pure. Okay. And there's even a thought process behind this. Or when I say that, I mean that your thinking can actually cause you to get sick. So when you go through these symptoms, it's your body cleansing your mind from the bullshit that you were thinking, and your body getting rid of any of the agents that are responsible for your disorder or your malfunction. But by the time you see the symptoms, then the disease is already over. Now, what the drugs of today do is they hide these symptoms. They prevent these symptoms from occurring, which is stopping your body or prolonging your body from actually going through the natural process of cleansing itself. Because these drugs are heavy minerals concocted to be toxins. So instead of dealing with the illness at hand, your body now has to process these toxins, instead of dealing with, the cleansing of the body. And when you have these effects occur, and I call them effects because the medicine today is not naturopathic, which means that, so before I go any further, I gotta explain how energy is. So you, as I stated before, are nothing more than light, essentially energy. Okay. You're made of living light, and you gotta understand that nothing that you can put inside of your body, as far as medicine goes, can heal you. Everything that you put in your body is a stimulant, and what stimulants do is they drain the source of your light. And the example I always give for this is caffeine. When you take in, and keep in mind, this is how all the drugs of today work. When you take in caffeine, for example, there's always a crash. There is always a collapsing of the very thing you're trying to prevent. You take caffeine because you're tired or you need to stay up, but you end up becoming more tired and crashing later because you're draining from that life source that keeps you alert. So what does that mean if you take, psychotropic drugs, right? You're taking psychotropic drugs for to, to balance the chemicals in your brain. But in the long run, you end up knocking those chemicals off of balance. Okay. Um, and then there's a bunch of different ways I can go with this, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. If you have questions, just go ahead and hit me up, about medicine or anything. But the lips of wisdom are sealed except to the ears of understanding. Be careful who you share with, because there are some people out there that will try to fuck you up because of what you know. And I have a personal story, which I didn't get into much detail here on camera. But if you want to find out, come meet with me in person, and I'll let you in on it. Go ahead and also look up Abraham Bowden on YouTube. He was the first Black Secret Service agent who went through almost the exact same thing I did. You know, um, I lost a car and I lost a lot of shit because of what I went through. Um, but even still, check him out. Um, yeah, that's all I have, and provide feedback. I'm doing these videos with no notes. I'm just coming straight off of the dome. If you feel like I've missed something or you want me to cover something, let me know. I'll do it. Just leave it in the comments section, or shoot me a text or whatever. But I'm gonna let you guys go. Peace.